know,
I work with the organization, trying to make sure that things go smoothly. Organization do community things throughout different sectors, and yeah, trying to make things work.
thank you. Everybody, I'm sure everybody already know who I am. I'm Hassan Diggs. I'm the current president of this fine organization. And my day job is I'm a project manager for Customs and Border Protection. However, everybody thinks that I'm Tommy of the group.
Yeah, I do.
But I've been in Baltimore for approximately about 12 years, and one of the things I really enjoy about the organization is just the brotherhood and everybody's drive to push each other to do better and reach further than what they have reached before. It's one of the things I like. Tonight is a special night. I'm not gonna say special and sweet because this is an election night. The only thing is that I'm eligible to run again as president, so the next election will be very, very sweet because I won't be eligible to run again as president. So that means, hint, hint, somebody that's on the back of this page will need to be able to get ready to step in. But we don't have everybody here yet to do the election, I'm assuming. Ken, how do you want to handle that?
Usually, if the nominees are not here, they have sent some sort of proxy statement or something to say that they are ready and willing to accept the nomination.
All right. Can somebody write that statement for the people who are not here? Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, I think we are. Well, I know Kendrick is en route,
Okay.
and I'm waiting to hear back from Teddy and Ishmael to see if their schedule allows. So I apologize to everybody. So this was like spades. The first visit deal itself, meaning that I had no idea or any information of how we get to the building where we park at, how to get to the room. So I had to find out once we came here. So I apologize for that. So the next communication about the general body meeting, we'll have more details about that.
So we're here long term? Or this is
Yes.
Long term.
Yes.
This
So,
is-
so this is the new meeting spot. I think we may, I don't know, I think we may outgrow it, but those are always good problems to have. Always good problems to have. So
Where'd you get the shirt?
I ordered the shirt through our website.
Your website?
Yeah, through our website. So you can get a style of black, you can get short sleeve, you can get long sleeve, you can get the golf version. So with my physique, you know, the golf version, it hangs on my body more complimentary than the other one. It's kind of like, make me look like a tent. So I like this one a little bit better. So we have a few moments. If you notice, we did a different format to the agenda. I apologize, the printing of it is upside down, but I actually seen this format at church, and so I was like, this is a good idea to be able to get all the information there without having to look jumbled. But I decided to add our calendar of activities to the agenda in a way where it's easier for the flow of it. So, anybody have any questions about some of the activities that we have going on? So, we are building out our entrepreneur program. And so with that, it's an initiative that we have going on called Eat Black Baltimore, Buy Black Baltimore, and Hire Black Baltimore. And so with that, our objective is to engage 100,000 consumers to empower, what is it? To empower the, help me out here. I read it right.
African American.
Yeah, the African American business community. So in short, I mean, that's the long name that we came up with, the long theme of it. But in short, we want to be able to put black-owned businesses in a position to increase their profitability. So one of the things we discussed at one of our masterminds is whenever you go to a black-owned business and the service is not desirable, we always look to try to, I guess, criticize what they're doing instead of trying to critique and have it be like a teaching moment. And I think that's something that we definitely need to work on. But what we want to do is we want to provide these business owners the opportunity to gain that experience that their counterparts may have institutionally over generations and generations. So that's the focus of it. So with that, we have our Black Restaurateur, and then we also have a Taste of Black Baltimore. So those are the activities that's going to be under the Eat Black Baltimore initiative. The Buy Black Baltimore, we have we have two mastermind activities. A mastermind is where a business owner or entrepreneur can go to and field ideas and challenges, and they have a collective body that can help them solve them. As well as we have a relationship with a black-owned hotel and a black incubator, which is going to allow us to be able to do a monthly business workshop at each of those locations. And the theme for that is going to be minding your business. So that information is going to be coming out. Now, from the other angle of BPM being able to pour into our members, we have our Men's Real Talk. That is one of those programs where it allows men to be able to communicate with each other and talk about the things that we don't like to talk about in public. So I'm glad that particular program has taken off. And then we also will start a BPM happy hour. Don't know exactly what the name of it is going to be, but I know it's going to be a happy hour, and that's going to be the third Friday of every month. And so that's a partnership we have with the Black-owned hotel. And of course, a portion of the revenue comes back to the organization to help us implement the programs that we have. Are there any questions? Yes.
What's the black-owned hotel and where is it?
It is Quality Inn, and it's on 1806 Belmont Avenue.
That's the Martin's West for those that know.
Yeah.
Okay. 1806 is built. Okay.
Belmont.
Now, next Monday is the Martin Luther King Parade. Now, I know many of you may not be off on that day, but for those of you who are off, we would like to ask that you consider being on with us as we march in that parade. So we would like to try to get 20 brothers to march with us, or at least show up, and then they can help us be the transportation back from the end of the route. So, we need, as they say, every foot matters. So whether your foot is hitting the pavement or hitting the gas pedal, we need you. Any questions?
Where are we going to meet on that day?
Yeah, we meet at Utah Street.
So I'm Dolphin and,
Yes.
So, yeah. We're Trump 3, so we're closer to MLK in that little area. I have a question. I'm kind of helping with that. Is anyone here that can let me know if they're definitely going to be there, so I don't call you later? Anyone?
What time is that on Monday?
The show time is 10. They posted it as 10. So I have Chris Black Widow,
You can be there by 11 because we march at 12.
Check-in is 11, so they take your numbers at that time. So 10, I plan to get there at 10:30. So whoever is the primary is going to be there about 10, but I'll be there at 10:30. So Chris Blackwell, Anthony Fitz. And
Yep.
Ms. Morris, you going to show up?
I'm gonna make every effort to be there too, you know.
Okay.
It's supposed to be warmer this year.
It is, well,
Yeah, it's supposed to be
that's
warmer.
a factor.
Yeah, so,
It's a really easy march, it's straight down Martin
Yes.
Luther King, about a mile, mile and a half.
Yeah, it's well under 2 miles.
In previous years, the brothers in which I participated, just, the crowd was like in awe the first year we came down. They were like, who are these guys? Because they see black professional men and we were walking down the street and we're different than any other fraternity that was sorority that was in the parade. And then another year, we're going down and out of the crowd, this young man is jumping up and down and saying, hey, you guys just gave me a scholarship. And I had all his friends around, and of course his parents were around. So, you know, there was cheers and claps for that, but us just coming down, being distinguished, just the sign of black professional men, just really gets the crowd going. So you'll definitely enjoy it, and it'll be good. Unfortunately, I can't make it this year. Hospital does close.
I just been trying to do a number
Right.
down so we can, how hard do I have to push over the next 2 days to try and encourage participation?
Yeah, but any brother that comes out and walks behind our banner, it's just, you'll be in awe. You'll be amazed. You'll really be amazed.
That's a picture in the brochure.
Yep. Yep. Sure is. Yep.
So, John, I got a question for you. I talked to Chris Thames the other night, and I just was curious, what other push are you want to do to try to gain
I'm making phone calls tonight.
phone calls?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the email went out, and I can push it again, and I probably will push it again in the next 24 to 48 hours. But I personally prefer phone calls. I think I get better results out of phone calls, and it really builds a better rapport and a better reminder for people when you actually get them on the phone. Even if it's a voicemail, so that's my intent. I wanted to get an account here first, because I was gonna do it earlier today, but then I thought, let me get an account at the meeting first, and then I'll push from there.
So there's another thought. From what I understand, if we don't have 20 people, we can't march as a group.
Oh, really?
So we need 20 people. So even if you were not going, and you knew somebody who was gonna throw in a suit and march behind the banner, that would be helpful. Because otherwise we can't march.
Yeah, and see, not only have we had men, bring your nephew, bring your sons, cousins. It's just collectively, if you know of a previous scholar, reach out to them and say, hey, we need you. We need to show up in numbers. Again, our presence helps changes the city, changes the mindset.
so, yeah.
Your dress code?
No, there's no dress code. Dress for the weather.
Yes, just warm. So if you want to wear
Dress for the weather.
shorts under a coat,
Yeah, just dress for the weather. Dress for the weather.
Forecast, and you can't rely on forecast, at 32 degrees and sunny.
so you know what? I went out short sleeves in 30-degree weather the other day. I mean, compared to
Because it
8
was
degrees.
-6 the other day, so
Yeah.
30 degrees.
So
Right.
it was amazing.
Glad to see it.
It was amazing. So we definitely appreciate that.
Hello, Kings. Hello, Queens.
Hello, sir.
So, Louis, how much time you got?
Right now, 6:56.
I said, how much time you got? You
Oh,
said-
I'm sorry, go ahead. I gotta pick Little Men up at 7:30.
All right, so let's go. Can we, in the sake of in consideration of Louis' schedule, can we go ahead and start the election? I got the proxy for Ishmael, and I'm gonna say I got the proxy for Teddy. So, but before that, we can let our two new visitors, or Kendrick and our new visitor, introduce themselves.
Good evening, brothers and sisters. My name is Kendrick Tillman. I serve as the Vice President of Programs like I know everybody in the room. I invited her, so I love y'all. And I just came back from Annapolis, so I'm late. Travel was crazy, but opening day was today, and we connected a lot of dots. This has been a 10-year plan for me, and I'm just so excited about Black Professional Men because it was the first organization I sought out when all I knew was street dudes and people who wasn't doing well for society. So to be able to be a product of society and then change these minds of here over here to everything I'm doing over here, I'm just excited to be here. All right, that was an introduction or
You were there.
I don't know.
So what was today like for you?
Today is, can I talk about today? Does anybody know what opening day is? Talk
Talk about it. Talk about it.
Let's talk about opening day. Opening day is the first day of the Maryland General Assembly.
Did you go to the summit?
Huh?
No.
So, yes, yes. But I was on the delegate side because Delegate Adrian Jones just made me the president of her organization. And when I walked in, she said, Kendra, what side are you sitting on? And I kind of really wanted to be on the Senate side because Senator who's the co-founder of the Greater Baltimore Black Chamber of Commerce, and she is just amazing. So to be on the Senate side would have been great, but when I walked in, I said, my delegate. She said, what side are you sitting on? Tell me. I didn't even know what that really meant. I said, George, what side are we sitting on? She said, the delegate side. The delegate side, because she got voted in as Speaker Pro Tem. So for those that do not know, Delegate Adrian Jones, the Speaker of the House is Mike Bush. And then the Speaker Pro Tem is Delegate Adrian Jones. And I've loved her for the last 20 years of my life. But the last 5, I found out she represents my district. And I've been living in the district for 11 years. So the relationship we've had was genuine. We built the relationship. But then I can come to her and say, I know you're going to hurt me for this one, but my wife and I live in your district, delegate. That changed the game. And so it built a relationship that I didn't foresee. Now I'm the president of her organization, which is the Baltimore County African American Cultural Festival. That's in Towson every year in September. So of course I'm gonna connect the dot for Black Professional Men because that's what we do.
Can we tell them?
I'm sorry.
Can we tell them what we think about doing, or we want to hold off on that?
I don't know. I want to know about Maryland General Assembly. This is why I showed up this morning. I got up out my bed, and I'm. This is one of those days where it's a 20-hour day because I got a DJ tonight. And you see me do this before, but this happens in my life where I gotta get up and be here at 9 a.m. in Annapolis. And this guy said, "Look, I want to be with you. I seen your email that went out. You know what my day look like tomorrow. You sure you want to do this yourself?" So he was dressed and ready. I took him to Annapolis his first time, and it was just like 6-7 years ago was my first time there. It's really to connect with your delegates, your state elected officials that represent your business address and your home address, because this is the only day they really got some FaceTime with you. They're not that busy today. When you open the day, you just introduce yourself. They start to remember you when you come down every first opening day for 6 years straight. But now I got a political agenda because the black business community has 2 issues that we need to kind of talk about, and that's where it all makes sense that all these relationships from going down on opening day, which is just to communicate, eat some free food, drink some little wine, have some married times with your elected officials, but it's still also to connect with different unions and lobbyists and all these dots. This is chess right here that I wasn't playing for years. And I'm only 36, y'all, but it was chess right there today that I ain't been playing in years. But I saw it today, and it motivated me. And I was like, did you see that, boy? Did you see? And it's his first time. You can speak on whatever you want to speak on. He's a famous singer here that I'm just trying to get involved with what I'm doing on the. I don't like the word politics. It's more the connecting dots. It's connecting dots. So that's all I want to say. For Maryland General Assembly, they're in session for 90 days, making out laws from today for 90 days on, and the last day is March something, like one of those Tuesdays.
Baltimore Day is January 20th, I believe. That's Baltimore Day in Annapolis, too.
Yeah, they have different days in Annapolis. I'm DJing one for Senator Robinson. She has a 40th district. So I'm DJing a 40th night out. They have, next Wednesday is advocacy day for businesses in Annapolis, and something else. Yeah,
This is in Annapolis, you said?
yeah. Advocacy day in Annapolis and business at the dark back in Baltimore at 6. And at Uno's in the harbor.
Yeah.
I'm booked in, I'm sorry. I told you he wasn't that.
Well, I'm Will Carter, professionally known as Will Star. Like you said, I'm a singer. How you been, brother?
I'm good, man.
I've been doing music pretty long time in Baltimore. Traveled out of the state, did my musical thing, signed multiple times, but I now have started with me and one of my singing mates. We've started an advertising company, so we do jingles and commercials. So anybody that has any type of business that might need some type of traffic brought to you, we do jingles and commercials because we sing. That's our first love. I also produce, so we come up with the, I guess you would call the music bag in the advertising field, but the music behind whatever it is, jingles that you're doing. We also do the vocal parts of it if you want something sung or something like that. Pretty much the name of the company is You Got Me Advertising. We are affiliated with iHeartRadio, which a lot of people I'm finding out don't know that is located here at the Rotunda. We're also affiliated with Radio 1. We do commercials, voiceovers, videos, cable, billboard, Alexa. I can even, as far as business owners, I can get you on the business guide on Alexa. So I know you know what Alexa is, everybody sees the commercial. But I can get you on the business guide of Alexa where you would say, business guide of Alexa, can you tell me where black professional men are meeting tonight? Oh, black professional men are meeting and such and such and such and such. So I have the access to that as well. So I came on behalf of Kendrick, like he said, he took me down there for the first time. And for some reason, I seem to know people everywhere I go. For some reason, where they know who I am, for some particular reason. So when we got there, I said, Kendrick, why? I said, I'm gonna know a couple of people. He was like, I don't know, it's a little different. You know, we street dudes, like you said, we street dudes. I got down there. Well, I was you said it. But it was a great experience. I advise that if you are interested, thought about, or want to be any part of politics, I would recommend to go. It was mind-blowing experience. Like you said, it was a lot of connected dots. It was really chess being played right there in front of our eyes. Like we're sitting here watching all this stuff happening. And it was like, to the point, like you see these people on TV and they look so nonchalant, like they're just so standoffish. But for some, I'm sorry, I'm wrapped up. I know that was my 5 minutes. But for some reason, it seemed like on this particular day, they want to know who you are and what your concern is. So that's just me in a nutshell.
I have one question, quick.
Yes.
Mr. Kendrick, what are the 2 issues for business that you mentioned? If you don't mind sharing, just real 2 sentences.
Oh man, it's been a long day. I don't remember the name of the bills, but it's the one about sick leave and the one about the mandatory business bill. Thank you. She was at the chamber meeting, so that's why I keep my people around.
What now?
It's one called the BISM bill.
BISM.
BISM bill, and I know it's one, and I don't know if that's the one around sick leave.
Yeah, that's the blind.
That's the blind.
And then the family medical leave.
Yeah, and so the family medical leave, it's like mandatory sick leave, basically. That's a bill that we would like to be in the know, or at least the control of what it says on the stigmatization. Like as a business community, we don't want to stand against growth for our community. So some of those bills, I'm sorry, I don't want to get there.
I just apologize.
Let me come to chamber meeting.
Because I know we need to be mindful because I know Lewis has a hard stop. But we might do just a quick introduction, and then we can get our election on, and then we're going to let Lewis take the other time. No, we can do an introduction of yourself. Oh. Let everybody know who you are.
My name is Marcel Russell. I'm probably the most popular as a singer in town, Baltimore.
Recently have become probably more popular as a financial consultant. My team has done pretty well. Built a team in April. Pretty grateful. In May, we're number 1 in the state. June, number 2. July, number 3. The rest of the year, we've been number 1. District. And yeah, so I meet with a lot of families. I meet with a lot of businesses talking about how to help them develop inheritances and generational wealth and just a lot of stuff. I teach money. Banks, you name it, I teach money.
Thanks.
You don't know this guy right here.
Oh, yes.
Paul.
How you doing?
Hi. Good evening, everybody. I'm Paul Johnson. I'm one of the newer members. I'm a general contractor and here to help.
Appreciate it. Ken, we're gonna let you have it.
This is your vote.
We're gonna let you conduct the elections.
Okay, all right, very good, very good. Do you have a slate of officers? I do not have a slate.
Yes, so.
Do you have a slate?
One of our co-founders, Scott Phillips, said, "Hello, everybody." He was in Annapolis. He told me to say that.
So make sure you say it.
He's like, "I might not make it," so tell him to say.
Okay, very good. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ken Morris, as I mentioned. Now is the time in the year and in this meeting where we are going to conduct our elections for the upcoming year, for a 2-year term, I believe. And I'm going to ask all those members who are present in the room who are running for office for the new term to stand just for briefly, and I'll briefly introduce them. Brother Hassan Diggs is running for re-election for president for a 2-year term. Brother Joe Tubman is also running for re-election for the controller position for a 2-year term. Brother Lewis Monk is running for secretary for a 2-year term. And Brother Kendrick Tillman is running again for vice president of operations programs for a 2-year term. All these gentlemen are running unopposed. There are also 2 other gentlemen who are running who have sent in proxies. Brother Teddy Coates is running as treasurer, and Ishmael Fulton is running as vice president of operations. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. All these gentlemen are running unopposed, so there really is no election. What we need to do tonight is to confirm them into office. So all those members who are paid members are allowed to vote. What we're going to do, gentlemen, is by a show of hands, all those who are in favor of electing the current slate of officers, as I have stated them tonight, please raise your hand and indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Very good. Are there any of those here tonight that are opposed to any of these gentlemen being installed into office tonight? Raise your hand by saying aye. These officers have been currently elected. Let's give them a round of applause. The next step in this process, the final step is, congratulations first of all, gentlemen. The next step in this process, I'm going to ask you all to move to the front of the room, and we're going to have our swearing-in ceremony. This is the last chance for y'all to run. I'm going to ask our president to stand in the center of these gentlemen. And I'm going to ask someone that you would hold this Bible and that the others would place your hand.
Right hand?
Right hand, if you could, on the Bible. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It don't have to be your right hand. It doesn't have to be your right hand. So if your left hand will make it a little more photogenic, that's okay. I'm going to read the oath of office. The first phase of this oath of office is for you gentlemen to state your names. So collectively, we're going to ask you all to state your names. I,
Kendrick Turnbull.
and ask that you repeat after me. Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will enforce and support
that I will enforce and support
the Articles of Incorporation and the bylaws
the Articles of Incorporation and bylaws
of Black Professional Men Incorporated,
of Black Professional Men Incorporated,
that I bear true allegiance
that I bear true allegiance
to our mission statement
to our mission statement
of ensuring the future of the African American male,
of ensuring the future of the African American male,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservations
without any mental reservations
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office on which I am about to enter.
of the office of which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate and welcome our new officers for the new 2-year term, 2018 and 2019. Congratulations, gentlemen. Godspeed to you.
Oh, hey, ticket. I like the case. Case works.
Case works.
Case works.
Case works. No cracks.
How we doing?
Cross practice right now. We're gonna work some things out, so it just won't be an issue next time. I mean, unless any guy that has a room I can stay in when I don't pick them up. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know what? I actually got an extra one.
Yeah, I'm not going to about the future of the African American man.
I had a dream about that on the top. Because we just came for that. I'm going to take this one. I sent it over.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, if you know anything about Lewis, whenever you talk to Lewis, you're gonna feel better than you did when you from the end of the call than from the beginning of the call. He just has that energy that he injects into you. I think that's something that's natural, either regardless of how he feels.
Thanks, man.
But, yeah.
All right, guys. Have a good meeting. And lady.
So we have that over. I'm assuming I need to do some kind of speech, but you know, me and O'Neal, we had a great conversation about how we need to do these next 2 years. And what I explained to him is that everything is going to be super simple in the terms of the organization, not just through my eyes, but we're going to make it where we're going to continue to work where the organization can meet people where they are. But we're going to try to do it in a manner where we're able to leverage our internal resources instead of try to look so much outside the organization to do things. So there's going to be a few changes, but if you can just be patient with them, I think everything is going to work out the way that everybody's been recommending. We have John Crew. He's going to be the director of programs. John has been an integral part of the organization, even from I mean, he may not feel this way or understand this, but John is like an anchor to the organization where he's able to hold everything down. So everything he gets involved with, you know, it has a sense of accomplishment and it has a sense of process. And so one of the things we wanted to do was figure out a way of how we can have that power and that energy radiate throughout the organization. And so we was very thankful that he accepted the position as director of programs. So he's going to be reaching out to a lot of the individuals on that side. And you know, this is also, yes. So this is also a mentoring organization. So understanding that all of our members are black males, which means that you fall within our mission. So we want to ensure your future. So when we engage you, it's from that vantage point. So if you just can keep that in mind. Now we have young lady here who's here to talk about chess. Now, I like chess, and I'm interested to see what's the possibilities of how we can work together.
Can I just make an introduction before that? Will you finish?
Go ahead.
So, Black Professional Men has its benefits. So I don't know if you all get my email blast. I can try to put you in it now, but I started doing this email blast, and then I adopted Black Professional Men's email blast. And so somehow Tina got my blast and called me and said, hey, I just want to know what you're doing. And we connected over the phone. I said, well, look, I'm the president of the Chamber of Commerce. You might want to come to the Greater Baltimore Black Chamber of Commerce meeting tonight. And she came in, she talked about chess, and I'm going to let her do her spiel. I don't want to do it any disjustice. But 50% of the battle is showing up, y'all. Somebody called me and said, I'm going to show up, and then don't show up. But then you do. I'm going to reach out to you and say, you know what, you should come to this meeting next week. I know I'm part of different organizations, but I love Black Professional Men. I think you meeting black men, you might want to come and do a spill. So this is Tina, and I want her to introduce herself properly, but I just wanted to show you how it all connected through that email list and how when it sends out, it does connect to the people.
Alright. I'm sorry I don't have any business cards, but I do have like a flyer that you guys can pass around. And yeah, I have a background in educational leadership. I actually got my doctorate degree from Morgan State University when I was 2007. I went into teaching. I've taught in criminal justice program at Coppin State, and I got a little disillusioned when it came time for like getting tenure track positions and things like that. So I started a consulting company. I started looking at what's going on. I published a whole book on leadership development at the nonprofit level. All the culmination of all the things that I've ever done in terms of working in nonprofits, administrative support for children and family programming, grant writing, program development. So I started, I love chess. I play with my kids. I have 2 grown sons, and I taught them chess, and I think that chess is a valuable tool to teach character building, self-esteem, strategic planning, conflict resolution. And so I have an organization in Virginia that I do work with, and I said, hey, pay me a part-time salary, I'll recruit schools in Baltimore City, and we'll grow this thing. They said, we don't want to be in the city. We don't want to work with Baltimore City kids. Really? Why? Because have you seen the numbers on the city schools? You see what's going on in the school system? 75% of the population can't pay. They won't be able to pay. They can't afford it. They won't be able to benefit from chess. So this company, I parted ways with because I was doing some consulting with them. And in August of last year, I started Baltimore Chess Developers. And I do work exclusively in Baltimore City schools. And we started out in 1 private school, and now we're in 12 schools.
So you're saying the kids in Baltimore City can afford to pay for chess?
Yes, they can.
Wow.
And they do, every week. Because we're a for-profit company. We're not a nonprofit organization. So, you know, we partner up with other nonprofits to write grants and do things like that. But as of right now, when I go in and do instruction, we're paid either by the school or we're paid by the parent.
See, man, interject.
Sure.
I just learned something today I didn't know, and you probably already knew it. But, so we are a 501c3, right? So I looked at that as a strategic partnership that we should endure to help out with some funding, because she's a for-profit, like my company. But I found out that today, in Senator Robinson's office, that a nonprofit can own a for-profit. But a for-profit can't own a nonprofit.
Right.
And I didn't know that didn't ring a bell in my brain before. I probably heard it before, but it didn't ring a bell. So I just wanted to bring it up that we might need to create an entity under BPM.
So we actually had a meeting about that. Me, Scott, and
It's the strategic partnership of the 2 things you can solve.
that's supposed to be in the works. So I have a question for you.
Okay, sure.
So, Black Professional Men, our mission is to assure the future of African American males. All right. Brass tacks. What can we do?
What can you do as far as partnering with the chess organization?
What can we do to help you accomplish your goals?
Okay. Well, number one, I need all my chess masters in here to help with after-school programming if you can. Most immediately, we have a chess tournament coming up on February the 19th. That's President's Day. All the schools will be closed. I have advertising information. If you have a business or a service that could benefit families, we're going to have about 1,500 families, churches, community groups, nonprofits, and other entrepreneurs at the tournament, and that will be a part of the souvenir book where your service will be exclusively advertised for our community.
All right, quick thing. So, I have an alternative motive. All right. My niece plays chess, and she's been winning all these tournaments. So, I want to be able to beat her when I go and visit her. That's number one. All right. Number two, we like things super simple, right? I like 1, 2, 3. So, you know, everybody knows 1, 2, 3 is as simple as 1, 2, 3. So, if you had to say, what is the one thing you need us to do, then after that, then after that. So I'm assuming you need people to show up at particular locations to either teach chess or play chess or teach principles around chess, right?
Okay, yep, I can do the 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Number one, I would like to train everyone in this group that does not know how to play chess. You can learn in 6 lessons or less.
Okay.
Number two, my goal is to network with mentoring organizations so that we can build a cadre of young masters to go into our programs and teach chess. We're moving towards prison systems. We're in schools right now. We're going to be doing foster care programs and out-of-school programs like community-based programming as well. So we're looking to just build a cadre of intellectuals. I think it would be good to see professional men working with young children. And then thirdly is our tournament. We need advertisers for our tournament.
Okay.
So those are 3 things.
You said the date, but where?
February the 19th is at the Baltimore Junior Academy. You know, the Baltimore Junior Academy is at 3006 West Cold Spring Lane. February 19th, it is from 9 to 3. If anyone wants to get in touch with me, again, my name is Dr. Tina Stevenson with a V. My email is baltimorechess@mail.com.
So let me ask you this question here. Could you do your training over the virtual?
I could, yeah, I could do that, but I typically go to the group. I have a little demo board I set up. And
Totally understand that. Totally understand that. So we have a partnership with an organization, a company that does, lack of a better word, tracking of kids' progress. All right. So we're going to be launching an online mentoring program coming up pretty soon. So the thought is that we can use this as a layer. Now, this is a pay-to-play type of scenario, and we feel like we can incorporate your fee into the cost of it. Is that simple?
Yeah, that's very simple.
All right. And so, if you could, you have my card. If you could email me the calendar of activities where you need people, then we can socialize that with our members and our network, and we can get things going.
Anybody have any questions?
Yes. I'm John Harris. The email you gave, you said baltimorechess@mail.com?
Mail.com.
Okay.
At mail, M-A-I-L.
Okay.
M-A-I-L.com. My number is 410-493-2654, if you'd like to call.
So, I don't know what exactly our time situation is here. Do we have to leave right at 8, Kendrick?
I don't know, we can try to, we can check the limits.
All right, cool. So look, we're about to go into a few segments, okay? One of the segments that I feel that I'm very excited about is making money make sense.
Making sense of money.
Got it. So, I told myself, I'm not gonna censor what he's gonna say. He can say whatever he wanna say. You, since we're streaming live, you may wanna.
Oh, great.
You may wanna go. From
No
that
pressure. I was gonna write on that board over there. I'm looking for it.
Yeah, right on the board.
Yeah.
So, I have no idea what he's gonna talk about, what he's gonna say, who he's gonna defend.
Excuse me, Mr. President, can we let the three kings that came in introduce themselves before we do that, though?
First off,
Absolutely.
I don't know what he's gonna say, but this is one of the illest dancers you have ever. So Steppers is a worldwide thing. He's the king of the Baltimore. He will probably not gonna bring that up. But like when them jokers, the superstars are being R. Kelly's videos and all that, he ain't gonna never say it. But this is the guy they come. I'm just saying.
Thank you for,
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was a shameless plug.
Gee, thanks, Marcel.
No pressure. Rick.
Good afternoon, gentlemen and ma'am. My name is Gary Brown. I'm Baltimore resident, born and raised here in Baltimore. Glad to see you gentlemen out. I don't see any faces that, other than this gentleman that I know. I was a member of BPM, back in the 90s, late 80s, 90s. Scott, Ricky, Edwin, all those guys. And I reached out to Scott a couple days ago just because I saw a posting of the new meeting. And, you know, want to give back. I have been giving back. I just wanted to come back and see, you know, what's going on and maybe get my hands in it again.
So I always say, you know, once you're a BPM member, you're always a BPM member. You just have to catch up on your dues.
That's true. I understand that.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ian Harpool. I'm a 21-year-old senior here at Morgan State University. I'm a creative director.
Congratulations.
Soon. Photographer, videographer, graphic designer, creative director. I currently work in PR, facets, and marketing. I'm here to just, you know, see whatever help you all need on the youth facet, not so much on, I guess, the high school level or intense college level, but just whatever you need, you know, for the youth. I'm just here to help. And I kind of grew up around black professional men. I'm sorry?
What age group?
All age groups. I have a series of friends. We started a venture capitalist firm, and some of us have mentoring agencies actually that have started in high schools and even down low into you know, K through 8. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yes, sir. Are you related to Adrian Harpool?
Yes, he's my father.
That's your father. That's what I
Yes,
thought.
sir.
Welcome aboard, man.
Thank you.
So we had a conversation, I don't know if it was today or yesterday. Was it yesterday? I don't know.
Oh, by the way, he came from Annapolis too, y'all. He was there when I walked in.
About there being a pool of undergrads at Morgan that need internships, but they have to venture outside of the
Were you at the
city.
conversation we had at Touchpoint?
I was not.
You weren't? Okay.
Somebody was on,
Yeah.
was there that brought it to us. I think that was called this video.
Right. And
Okay.
so we're coming up with we're trying to craft a way of how we can leverage and tap into that particular market and connect them with the local businesses.
Mhm.
So,
Sure. Well, I'm here to follow up and knock on you guys' door.
Good evening, gentlemen. My name is Damien. I'm a marketing specialist. What I do is I go to different businesses and I help them get more clients. I help them get more clients by setting up a marketing plan that promotes their products as well as manages their social media. But yeah, thank you guys for having me. I've been a part of BPM. I think I joined last year, last year. Love this, helping the youth. Me and Tom, we work for the young men. It's great, but yeah.
he's being modest. So he created the design for the handbook we're going to use for our book called I Am a Business Person. So very excited. Hopefully we get that workbook assembled and get that out to the kids this year. And you want to introduce yourself? Oh, that was me.
Hi,
When you do, can you also share your testimonial for the students you have?
Sure.
Okay.
Hi, Warren Simmons. I joined BPM back in November, I believe. Just joined like most of you, just have an urge to give back. The visit that Hassan is referring to, he sent out a blast for people to show up at Scott Branch Elementary School in Baltimore County. And I joined EPM to help, and so the call went out. I went there. It was a very interesting meeting. Met Mr. Ford, who has asked me to, I'm an engineer with Northrop Grumman. So Mr. Ford asked, we talked about having some engineers from Northrop come out and work with the students at the school. And so we have an African-American task group at Northrop, and so I'm working with the community director to try to get some support for that school.
So I had to bring up that experience for particular reasons. One is that the program you went to is our business program. I am a business person. So this is the second year of that program. Last year it was fourth graders, now they are fifth graders. And those fourth graders last year was able to go through the course and deliver an elevator pitch at City Hall last year. And so this year we're going to work with them to be able to give a business presentation of the business that they are running right now. But the other part of it is that when he went there, he was able to make the situation meet him where he is. Him being an engineer and being able to turn that situation to be with STEM, so it's in line, what you call the NASCAR approach. Slap on what you want to slap on and keep on going. So that's one of the examples of being where the organization meets you where you are.
And Hassan, what school is this at?
Scott Branch. So it's all yours.
No question. So if you can just check downstairs and then I can come right back. All right, so cool. Anybody familiar with sports, football, basketball? Right, that's like offensive, right? So I shoot a ball from the stands 6 times in a row and it goes in. Where? Does it count? Nope. You sure? I'm flawless though. Good. Out of bounds. I catch 3 passes, 6 seconds left, all over 30 yards. Not push the speed. And it's about 5 feet out of bounds, right near the water cooler, but I got amazing form. And I catch it. Does it count? No, I'm out of bounds. So we understand in football or in that sport, the whole thing is predicated on this thing. Right? You got to know the rules based on football. You don't know the rules, you lose the game. You start bouncing this thing, you don't know the rules, you lose the game. So what's the rules in America? Everything is based on capital. It is the game we play. Make sense? This is so important for me in particular, being a black professional man. That means that whatever your chosen field, whether you're a chef or engineer, you're a pro. Last time we talked, I said if you can't unplug from whatever you're doing, you're not a pro. Right? Say, well, I'm an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur businessman is different. An entrepreneur means you got to be there to make a dollar. If you got to be there to make a dollar, you're an entrepreneur. If you can unplug and the money keeps coming, you have a system in place, you got a business. Right? So that's a system in place. But there's a challenge that is a little bit of an epidemic in our community that's concerning me. I'm going to give you guys some quick stats. Maryland, D.C., Virginia has the richest blacks on the planet. Did y'all know that? Only second to Nigeria. Isn't it crazy? Only second to Nigeria. Baltimore has the highest percentage of black-owned businesses in the country. Almost 40%. Next is Atlanta at 31. D.C. is at 28. Did you know that? Baltimore has the highest percent of black-owned businesses. Right? So these are just some of the stats. Black men are growing businesses at 400%, breaking records, and building their own businesses. It's pretty impressive. Black women are almost 200%, or 400%. You guys research this stuff yourself. United States Census and all that cool stuff. The Nigerians and the Africans in our area have more master's degrees and PhDs than every group, period, including the Asians. No one's catching. Surpassing everybody. Now with me? So all of this is incredibly impressive, but we're doing a whole lot of catching out of bounds. How? Brother, we're making so much money. We got the richest blacks. Our net worth in this area is $3 grand. How is that possible, black man? 2 things. When I go into temples, if you read in Surah chapter 32, or different passages of the Holy Quran, or if you read Proverbs 13:22, or 1 Timothy 5:8, or you read into the Talmud, they all teach the same thing about inheritance. So let me break this down. 60% of all wealth in America is through inheritance. Y'all with me? So if you don't understand these fundamentals playing this game, I don't care what profession you in, you a loser. I'm telling you, I just left a rabbi in their temple. This is all they talking about. At 13, at a bar mitzvah, they're talking about inheritance. Before they marry a young couple, they're talking about inheritance. Y'all with me? So 60% of all wealth is through inheritance. 30% is through investments. So we're going to talk about those two. If you're not winning in these two areas, I don't care how hard you grind, how big you build. It's a wrap. Matter of fact, United States Census says 87% of households, when the business owner dies within 6 months, the family goes down 3 financial classes. Everything they built is gone. How I know? 7,000 deaths a day. 7,000. There's 3,300 promises in the Bible. There's only one God says, I will never give you. Anybody know what that is? Tomorrow. There's only one the Creator says, I promise you before God, I will never promise you tomorrow. So do the rest of these or we got a problem. One, I always ask people when I go visit churches, is God a God of provision? In every religion, everybody knows God likes to provide. Every time we talk to Israel, he says, I'm bringing you to a land of milk and honey. Someone's talking about tangible things, land. How he starts talking about, I'm going to give you this. This is kind of dad how I roll. So I always ask people, religious cats in particular, do you roll like the Creator? Do you have a mindset of provision? If we are black professional men and we don't have fundamentals in this game, we should, by default, lose. We should. I hope we lose. So the world's not confused. But if we get the fundamentals, I pray we crack heads. What are the fundamentals? So somebody said, well, Marcel, Proverbs 13:22 says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. You got 7 minutes. So how in the world are you going to do that? I just left the household. The guy got killed in May. I'm sitting there, the young guy said, yeah, man, I want to be able to do this for my family, but I can't create an inheritance. I ain't Abraham. I can't buy 10 acres of land. And I said, cool, man. So we pull up insurance, life insurance. $69 on him, $70 on her, put $1 million on both. Yeah. Oh. So why would you need $1 million? So this is how you figure it out. This is what they talk about in their places.
Dime, right?
It's called the dime. The dime is death, debt, income, mortgage or rent, and education. I ask every household I'm in, do you want your family to do better, same, or worse if you die? You know what most people say? Better. I got a couple people who say if they die, I don't care if they start from the bottom, I'll start from the bottom. Death. March Funeral Home, all those guys said the average funeral area is 12 to 20 grand. Income. So let's say you're making 80 grand a year. They try to convince you to do 15 and 20 years. That's what they suggest, 15 and 20. But I'm going to just say 10 years being conservative. Income, right? So 10 times, let's say you're making 80, so 10 times 80 is 800,000. Y'all with me? I'm going to need somebody to grab a calculator. Mortgage, let's say I got 260,000 I own a house. And let's say I got 3 kids. I say, if I don't come home tomorrow, I still want them to go to college. So the average school is 25 grand, so that's 300 grand. Somebody got a calculator? Can you help me? I'm going to just pick somebody. Yeah, can you grab it? So I want you to add on your calculator. So this is how I tell people, this is how you can tell them your family you got today if they better say worse. It takes 2 minutes. Add 20. So I explained that I filed bankruptcy twice. So I didn't get a whole lot of coaches to help me with money. I come from a long line of educated people. My mom's a professor here, Morgan State. She started the first Christian fraternity sorority. I can tell you amazing. My grandfather was a sparring partner with Joe Louis. He worked till I think my brother, how much money they make. If you ain't getting the fundamentals, you're a loser. I don't care. I got buddy with so many degrees is below 0. He has 6, I don't even want to talk about it. Fundamentals, this money. Why is it important to know? 700 of the last millionaires had a 2.7 GPA. But 36,000 of the last PhDs filed for food stamps. The Bible says love builds up, right? Knowledge puffs up. Sometimes we feel good because we're knowledgeable. That don't mean you win. In capitalism, you must understand the ball. 36,000 PhDs filed for food stamps. But the last 700 millionaires got a 2.7 GPA. It's fundamentals. 20 plus 800 plus 260 plus 300. And let's say your wife makes 60. I don't want to offend nobody. So that's plus 600. What's that number? 14. So that's 1.4 million. That's not right, is it? No. 20
Good, just got over 20.
plus 800.
1,980,000.
1,980,000. That's what it's at. 1,980,000. So my first question in every household I'm in is, do you have that much protection on you and your family? That's the first thing they say. No. I say, okay, well that's them doing better. I mean, the house is paid off, right? They go up one financial class. The lowest is poverty level. That's a household that's 25,000 and above. Working poor is 40,000. Middle class, working lower middle class is 70. Middle class is just below 100,000. When you get 100,000 as a whole household, only 14% of households make 100 grand. People say, well, that's my family. That's cool. You're in that group. Well, where was your parent? My family was 3 times lower than that in the financial ranking. So we've gone up 3 financial classes. Good, you died today. Where y'all going? Y'all go down 4? Because if y'all go down 4, then when Dad said, I hustle for my last name, not my first. You don't understand the game. You don't get first downs. That is a fundamental first down. So they say, well, bro, should you trust different products? And everyone talks about products, right? So that's 1.9 million. Somebody say, well, what about the family living the same? Just take the 2 incomes, 800 and 600. That's 1.4 million. You have that? No. Okay, half of that. You got 700,000. No. Well, I got something from the job. Let's talk about laws. I got job insurance. I always ask people, you see the policy from your job? They go, no, brother, why not? It's illegal. They own it. I just left a guy one of the highest ranked jobs in the country. I just left another FBI agent. He just died. They're not paying his family nothing because the way he died. There's a laundry list of laws that the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the company because they said they own it. Group insurance means they own it. So if you don't own your own inheritance, so somebody say, well, bro, there's different kinds of products out there. There's term, and then there's that cash value stuff, right? So we're going to talk about real quick the rule of 72. 4 minutes. So how are we going to do the rule of 72? I don't need another calculator. Anybody else got a calculator? All right. You say you good? All right, so cool. I was about to go faster. All right, so this is you guys can Google it if you want. It's called the banker's secret. In Deuteronomy, the Bible says, do not do this. It says if you have a product, charge interest only to your neighboring nations, because if you charge it to your own people, you will eat them alive. It would take them 7 generations to recover. Currently, America has the highest credit card debt in the history of anyone living in 20,000 years. We haven't had a raise in 20 years. So that means the average income is going up 2%, but inflation is going up 3%. So if you make $150,000, you're in Walmart. Y'all with me? You must understand the laws of money. I can come here, I can come here with $800 suit or $80 suit. I don't really care about winning at the game. Right? So, one you guys Google is called the banker's secret, but what we know it affectionately as is the rule of 72. Yeah. You want to know how my nephew just sees his 30 grand as an engineer, and he said, Uncle Marcel, if I save $250 a week, where will I be? I said, how old is your dad? He said, 48. I said, if you save $250 a week, you'll retire at your dad's age at 1.9 million. You'll make $170,000 the rest of your life at 49. And in 6 years, that amount that you got still in there will double again. By the time you're 60, you will have $8 million starting at $250. He said, oh, Marcel, how? Rule of 72. How do we do that? It's real simple. Right? So the rule of 72 says you take any interest rate that comes your way, and it tells you divide by 72, and it tells you how long it's going to take for that money to double. Y'all with me? So the bank gives us on average what? 0.1%. 72 divided by 0.1 is what? That's how many years. So let's say I saved 10 grand. That's all I can do my whole life. I'm going to tell y'all how I helped a family of rednecks living on bricks. The man is 82 now. They worth 1.9 million. And I sat with black families, all of them making 300,000. They still working in their 70s. Right? This because of this rule. 720 years. 720 years. So that 10,000 would take 725 years to double. Y'all with me? Anybody excited about that? No. If anybody walks to your house with a product with 3%, 72 divided by 3 is 24. If you're 50, you were 74 before it doubles. It'll be 20 grand when you're 74. You excited? 6% is every 12 years. The interest rate since 1932 has been 10.1. Y'all with me? Since 1932. At 12%, if I did, it's every 6 years. So at every 6 years, by the time you're 65, just that same 10 grand will be $1.2 million.
That's it. You don't touch it and let it.
So what product gives you 10% return.
Oh, gracious, brother. That's the average since 1932. No, this is what you must understand. I'm glad you called that, bro. Because what happens when something in the market goes bad? What does everybody do with that still money?
Take it out.
They take it out. But everything is about ebbs and flows, right? So if you made $30,000 a year and you made $150, Walmart had a sale for 90% off. Who's going to take better advantage of the sale? You. It's simple. So when the market goes down, what does that mean about inventory? There's a sale. So the wealthy say, let me buy a bunch, because they freaking out. He freaks out because he's at 30. But he doesn't know every 6 years. It's been doing the same thing for 100 and something years. It just goes up and down. So just sit still. With me? So there comes the products. So they sell our community 99.8% of the time cash value products. My granddad, I got a whole life policy, brother. I got this cash value policy. Good. I got guaranteed 4%, and they give me all these wonderful projections. By law, they only held to the guarantee in the contract. Then I asked, what about the fees? Well, after all the fees, I know after all the fees on page 2, I just read it, which is 2%. So you're guaranteed 2%. 72 divided by 2 is 36. I asked people, would you rather walk downtown, take a skateboard, or drive in your car? You can get there with 2%. You walk it.
Right.
Or a skateboard with 3 wheels. The Jews teach you buy term and you invest the difference. They will never buy whole life. You know what whole life was created for? To hide your money. It was a tax shelter. If I had $10 billion, I ain't going to say to touch it. I put my money and I hid it. They came in the ghetto and sold it to us, and they gave us skateboards. It was for the wealthy. Y'all with me? So people, why am I bringing this up? Because people.
So you said you can hide money in there?
Yeah, 77.
Yes, but if you ain't got much money, yeah.
But okay, so when you hide the money, is it taxable?
No, you can't tax you for your own money. It's a 7702 plan,
Right.
That's what they
And when you die, they can't tax it.
Right.
So somebody like Donald Trump, once a guy invests in and he's driving his money in a car, where it turns to 1.2 and he's 62, then he puts it in stuff like that. You got tax.
Does it count towards your taxable income?
No, because you're taking out
But you got to know these.
No.
If I tell you, you have to know the laws. I'm going to tell you the law.
Wait, hold on. So, Ken, does that drop the person's tax bracket? Does it drop your tax bracket when you put your money into term life?
No, not term. It's cash value. They can't tax. If you put that money in there, how are you going to tax it? It's not taxable income.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
But you said it's.
So hold on. I'm glad our son's doing that. You know why? Because this is what they tell our people. I'm glad our son tells. But listen, we got cats that been 80 grand having this conversation. That's a skateboard conversation. Now, I agree with the song, but cats get excited about that. But the law is still the law. You can't still circumvent all those projections. They get you excited about that, but they forgot page 2 is the law. The law is still 2%. This is the law. Watch this. Cash value. This is just happening to my people. My grandfather died in 97. If a couple is 35 and she's 25, first off, that kind of a policy costs 6 to 7 times more than the average. Y'all with me? 6 to 7 times more. So that couple, the guy's going to spend $245, she's going to spend $215. That's $460. That's $5 grand for the year. Wow, they pitched this black family on you borrow some in case you need some in case of emergency. Cool. They didn't tell you these laws. One, the first 5 years, there's no growth. Why is that a problem? I would go get 11 grand, I would get married to my wife, I only had less than $1,100 in it. Because the first 5 years, there's no growth. Well, who was using my money? You was the rule of 72. You was putting it over here. Where's your bank putting your money as soon as it go in there? You put it in a savings account, but the bank right. Barack Obama passed a law that you cannot take direct deposits and no longer automatically invest it. Donald Trump first rule in office, we changing that. Let's go back to the game. Why? That's not right. Even though the Bible says this is beyond morally illegal. So I'm doing this morally illegal thing. Why? Because I know at 0.1% it's going to take 720 years. When we leave there with our sharp spouse walking out, they hand us what? A sucker. Right. It's good to see you, a cup of coffee, and a sucker. Because they said this same 10,000 is going to make 1.2 million. But you say, I only got 20 grand in my 40 years of the bank being there. I never made 1.2. Yes, you did. They just didn't give it to you. They gave it to their homeboys. Because the money was growing and growing and growing. Y'all with me? So let's go back to this cash value stuff. So this is the law. So 245, he got paid 245, she paid 215, 460. That's $5,000 a month. Cool. The law, first law says first 5 years, 3 to 5 years, there's no growth. So when you go to borrow that money, you can't. But this is the thing. So let's say you save 60 grand in this thing. This is what I'm dealing with the Korean community because they bought 99% of it when they got off the plane in the past 30 years. So they hang with a bunch of Jews and the Jews laughing. They're like, we had cash value. Jews said we didn't. We weren't doing that. Ever. We do that when we're wealthy. They're like, we'll see. They said, we'll see. Now they 65. Asia outside, we got 65 grand. This guy got 4 million. Saving the exact same amount of money. Jews said, yeah, good luck with that. Why? Because it was in the Old Testament. You know the Jew rabbis right outside me? How are you guys more religious than that? 80% of all registered atheists are Jews, by the way. 80%. They said, how are you guys actually believing this stuff? We read this stuff for financial gain. I hate God. I'm telling these conversations, I have meetings with these guys. I'm not religious. You go look at the United States Census. They're always complaining that rabbis are saying half of our congregation filled out a form and said, I hate God. So why are you in the Talmud? The money. David went from Section 8 to being worth over $100 trillion in 60 years. They know money. His son Solomon is a trillionaire. We don't read it for the reasons you read it for, but you guys read it and don't do it. They don't understand it. They don't understand it, but no. That's real. So in the cash value policy, watch the law though. So let's say you got 60 grand in there and you die. What's the first thing your wife would do? The policy was for $250,000 on both of y'all. But there's 60 grand in there, she got funeral expenses. Food. She gonna say, can I get that money out of there? Right? Law. You get the money out. You know what the law says?
Tax.
No. You can only get one or the other. Because you got one of those kind of policies. Now that you take the 60 grand, you can't get the 250. God.
Yeah, you took it out already.
You no.
You can't stop.
No, but you bought an inheritance if you died for your family. Right? You got cash value in there, so now this is a bigger problem. So let's say you don't use the cash value, because the Asians say now, we just save extra money on the side. So you save money this and another extra savings? Yeah, because we want to get that money. Okay, cool. So then they started saying, we'll wait. So they just got the death benefit. So they said, well, let me get the cash value. You know what the law says? You get one or the other. You can't get the cash value. What do you mean? I saved for 70 years, 40 years in this thing. Give me my 80 grand. The law says you can only get one or the other, sir. Sorry, Mr. Lee. No. Y'all with me? This is the game. In capitalism, this is the football. You fumble this, it's a wrap. So if your ego, you know what's killing us? Pride. Hassan, I don't understand how BPM can be so rich in resources and we don't call each other. I don't get that. Brothers walking in like they there. If y'all need anything, you'll call me. Negro, if I need anything, I'm calling you. I'm trying to win the game of capitalism. I'm not trying to lose. I don't want my kids to go down 2 financial classes. My brother killed himself at 23. I tell people it takes the average family a decade to get back. They were on their way to buying a house. He was going to go to law school. He had a 7-month-old daughter with his baby's mom. This is alive. Yeah. So we leave it alone. It takes a decade to 10 or 15 years for your family to get to where you were when you died. Not to another level, because you was hustling for a double level. But to get back to the level when you died, it takes them 10 to 15 years.
So I think you did a great job of illustrating what the problem is.
I'm fat, that's why
So can you give us?
So we're gonna talk, guys. We're gonna have a separate session. There's 830 financial companies. There's only 2 that actually do the stuff I'm talking about. There's a whole bunch of stuff. We'll talk later about that.
Give us one call to action.
Call me. You want to know laws and you want to get a plan for you and your family? Call. Okay. I mean, that's the only sincere plan of action I have. I don't mind sitting with you. 5-star was like, dude, I want you to come by and sit with me and my wife from this. I was like, cool. He said, I want to win. I don't care nothing about nothing else. You say, well, I don't like your hat and your shoes are weird, bro. I'm going to call somebody to tell you look cooler. Call somebody up. But please make sure them Negroes going to tell you the laws and not try to make money off your household. Because there's some brothers who look like us, but they just, they're on a separate assignment. I'm just telling y'all. Matter of fact, that's usually the ones they hire. So if you got somebody that's legitimately on breakdown, whether you benefit, I didn't make a dime from that. I left. I don't mind sitting with you and your spouse and your family and figure out what you guys want to do. It's usually $1,000 to $5,000 for anybody in Mercantile or Bank of America to come down. I sit with them all the time to come and teach you this. I'll talk about investments. I'll talk about the places that can give you 12, 13, 15, 19% yield.
All right, so check this out,
Yes.
So we know one call to action is the call.
Yep.
All right, so if you teach it, you learn it, right? So can you give us one assignment that we can learn, that we can teach somebody?
Go home. If you only got protection from your child, call me. Because you don't know. I get it. I'll give you a call at you. If you got some sort of fundamental protection, because that's the baseline, we can talk about everything else. Go grab it. Call somebody you trust to take a look at it.
Okay, so what you're saying is,
That's
if
your
you
first-
have, if you have any protection, review it, or have it reviewed, right?
Yes.
Okay. So then, is there any?
Two, you need to have a FIN number, right? Right, financial independence number. When are you gonna stop working? When can you put a date on when you're done? You can't put a date on when you're done, let me tell you, you probably never will be done.
Say that, could you say that fast? So you said
FIN number.
A
We
financial,
can sit with you, yep.
a financial what?
FIN
Financial
number.
Stop working.
Financial independence number.
No, I get it. So the call to action is 2, 3. Very
Go
simple.
home and see, do you have a date? I'm gonna give you homework.
Let me finish.
Go, go.
So call to action is simple, right? 1 is call you.
Yeah.
2 is go home and review your protection that you have right now.
And if you don't understand it, I just left an economist. I'm just, if you don't understand it, it's okay to be humble and say, bro, you got a second, just come out and look at this one. Even if you don't want to do anything with me, I can share it
So
with you.
shouldn't they do the review of their stuff and then call you?
I would encourage that.
All right, so number 1 is review your protection.
Okay, that's tell them why? Only 1% of policies pay out.
Yeah, I want to kind of.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, number 1 is we need everybody to go and review their protection that they have. Number 2, feel free to call Marcel with any questions that you have on that. It's a personal conversation. It's not anything that's dealing with the organization, anything like that. It's something that is a courtesy to
And I
you.
won't be screaming.
Rather,
Tell him, fine, so I'm a little,
Whether
He
you're a
got
member or
through my
not.
wife, y'all. My wife is an Aries. She don't be playing. And he I mean, she gave me blues. She don't get it twisted. She gave me blues.
And then,
But he made it through. He ain't say, I quit. I'm leaving. So,
and then the
I'm proud of
last
you.
thing is create your fit.
you can't, that's not something, you probably want to sit with somebody that's licensed. So it's-
But they-
yes, no, what I think you should do is to see if do you have a legitimate date when you're gonna stop? If you don't have one, then you need to call somebody who can show you, it's like a
Wait a
GPS,
minute,
a
wait a
financial
minute.
GPS.
I thought your
Financial independence number
it's a number, and then the date you get that number is 2 separate things.
Yeah, so your financial independence number, if you don't know, I need $3.2 million at this age to make in this much per month to live the lifestyle I want, then you don't.
Right, so like,
Yeah, so if
like
you have a number,
my number is 1.6, because that gives me about $6,000 a month. That's all, that's all I need. So then, the other side of that is what day can I reach that?
Exactly.
But you need the fin first.
Exactly.
So, the challenge is, we need everybody to create their fin.
Thank you so
Thank Dr. Taylor.
much. Thank you so much. I felt like
We need everybody to create their fin.
Well, they can't create it. I think I would encourage everybody to write down, do you have a date that you can stop? Because if you knew how to create it, why would I wouldn't be there. I mean, no, I'm not forgetting anybody.
No. So, what you're saying, I understand what you're saying.
Okay, go ahead.
Because the creating of the fin and the day you get it is 2 separate things.
Gotcha. So how much you want a month? Yeah, you're right. How much you want a month coming in, and when you want to stop, so that can cover
Right,
the rest of your
because
life.
when they come and talk to you, or anybody in your profession, they gotta already know that information.
I'm okay if they don't.
But
It's just a projection.
Oh yes, yes, it is.
I mean, quit contradicting yourself, man.
No, I'm not. I'm saying it's like saying you need to understand, and you never took math before, and it's like you. So how do you add? It's like no, they need just say no. Do you know how to add?
And
I don't know how to
just
add.
for the
You
record,
call the teacher.
we have these kind of conversations all the time. So this is not hostile.
It is really not.
This is what we. This is how
This
we do
actually
it.
calm.
Yeah, every 3 days is the conversation we have. So,
I love my brothers.
but
I
thank
love
you.
them.
So this is one of this is a program that I really, really like because this is a conversation that we don't have. It's taboo to talk about finances. It's taboo for us to talk about, you know, us wanting to get money and us wanting to pass on money. So, I thank you. I thank you. Anybody got any questions?
You got cards for myself?
I got it in my car, bro. But I'll give you guys my phone number, direct cell, 443-955-8720. I got a whole team of guys that may fit with different people's personalities. So I may not stop.
What is the name of your company, sir?
Well, we work with about 42 different products.
So,
Like a broker?
I don't have a broker's license, I have access.
Like a broker.
Yeah. Yeah.
so understand this. There's 3 call to action that we gotta do, all right? It's voluntarily, but it's 3 call to action that is recommended that you do. So if y'all do anything else, you know, this week, consider doing this, all right? 1, review all of your protection or retirement information. 2, contact a specialist that handles that. Now, we have 2 that does it. So I know Anthony Pitts does it and Marcel does it. All right? So there's many resources. And I think Quentin does it as well. So the organization has many resources that does it. So that's number 2. It doesn't have to be a member of the organization that you go to, but we recommend you do go see somebody, all right? The 3rd thing is develop your fit. Develop that number that determines when you need to stop working. Now, if you don't know what that number is, guess. Okay? Just guess. All right? My grandfather told me nothing from nothing leaves nothing. So if you don't have a number, guess what you're going to end up with? Nothing. Okay? So I want to appreciate everybody coming up. We had a new individual coming to join us, so I give you the opportunity to introduce yourself. And then lastly, for our guests, I'm interested to know, how did you find out about the meeting? Go ahead.
How you guys doing? My name is Anthony Davis. I'm a licensed realtor. I work at Certified Realty Group. And I also have an advertising company with my brother, Will Starr here. I also go by the name Tony Vegas. I'm a musician, I'm a songwriter and singer. So I have an advertising company called You Got Me Advertising, and we specialize in jingles and commercials. So I heard about this meeting from my brother in 5 Star, so I rushed on down here to give it to you guys.
So how did you find out about it, sir?
Gary.
Gary?
I'm Gary.
Yeah, okay. Gary, how did you find out about it?
Through, actually, I don't know, I received an email, and I just touched base with Scott Phillips, and
Was that a DJ 5 Star email?
I believe so. I believe so. I believe so.
Tell you that, it worked.
It's working. It does. It works.
I'm here because of the flash. Yeah, that's how I got it.
All right, so, you can't do it. So, gentlemen, this is 2000, you came with me? All right, and we know why you came. So, this is 2018, and we mentioned that we're gonna do some things different, but we're gonna do some things the same, all right? The thing we're gonna do the same is that we want each of you who wanna make this organization their organization and allow it to be, meet them where they are, to be their BPM. So my BPM is connections and relationships. So we want everybody to be able to make their BPM my BPM. We want everybody to be able to have my BPM, have their own version of it. So for any of our guests, do you feel like you can make BPM my BPM? So give it our membership. So look, after this right here, we're gonna have our dinner at Flight. It's about 8 minutes away. I'm sure everybody here has a smartphone or knows somebody who does, who has GPS that can type in Flight.
You're for 1 block up from Hubert Memorial.
When we get to Flight, we're gonna do our mastermind session. I understand it's 8 o'clock and some of you might have to go to other other, obligations, so we appreciate that, but I need to get something to eat.
Flight is on Taste Buds site as well, if you can't find it.
So last thing I have, last call for, you've had time to think about things, reflect, ponder in your own head. We need volunteers for this MLK event. Any other takers? You let me know afterward, let me know. Oh, you, okay, thank you.
What's going on?
Okay, I'll set it. So Monday, we'll be participating as an organization with the Baltimore City's tribute to Martin Luther King during the parade. And we're going to be presenting minimum of 20 brothers, nephews, cousins, whoever it is, 20 minimum black men out there marching together, showing a presence on this moment today. So if you have interest or you know someone that might have interest, please do send them our way. All right, so two. All right, thank you. And any other takers, just let us know. And we appreciate it, even if you just send somebody that you think know would be interested as well. So we need all support we can get, including you. You have some folks. Well, but you can send folks to us. So thank you.
How do we get in touch with you?
You can tell me now. Or
Put me down with Ken.
okay. You, Gary. No, you will.
What's the time again on that?
Showtime is 10:30. I'm getting there at like 10:30. I'll get there at 10, so I'm there with everyone. 10. Because we have to check in no later than 11. At 11, they make it the assessment of whether or not your group is complete enough to actually participate. If you don't have that minimum 20, you don't march because it's disruptive. You don't have the space they need to kind of move the, whatever it is, the reason why they don't let you, but they don't. If you have 10, they're like, no, sorry, you can't.
How many people have shown up already? Like, how many people have already dedicated their time to do it?
10. So we need at least another 10. I'd like to see another 20. So,
You got some?
and sir, Gary. You can write that down. John Gary.